Tom Donnie here from Fort Dodge, Iowa. I want to show you how to bench test a generator off your vintage Saab. This could be a V4 or two-stroke. It could be any generator, wouldn't matter. The generator has 3 terminals in the Saab environment. One is a ground. We don't even concern ourselves with that. That's just part of the body. But we have a D as in Delta plus and a D as in Delta minus. And the differences in these is the D plus is going to be our battery output or the generator output, the capability of the generator to produce 12 volts, 15 volts, whatever power. And then the Delta minus or D minus, that is the feed from the regulator that's going to control what type of ground signal is given to the generator. So if I wanted to full field this or do a test on the car, all I have to do is unhook the lead to the D minus, hook it to a ground signal right like this, hook it up with it running about 3,000–4,000 RPMs. This thing should output a ton of voltage. So what we want to test right now is just the ability of the generator to work on a bench. And all we're going to do is hook the D minus, Delta minus to a ground, and we've got a jump pack hooked up here, and we're going to take a power supply and hook it to the D plus, and it should make the generator spin. And you don't want to do it very long. This is basically just an electric motor. So that's how you can test on the bench or on the car. Just take your belt off. And bear in mind on a Saab you've got a water pump built in here, so there could be some drag there. So you may have to give it a spin and help it, or just see if you can feel it starting to move it if you've got too much water pump drag. Obviously in a vehicle it would work just fine. But again, a simple, easy way on the bench, if you've got a generator that you're trying to wonder, is it good, is it bad? If I carry it as a spare in my trunk, a ground to the D minus. This could be an F minus too, and then power to the D plus, and it might be a F plus too, because everything ultimately runs to the regulator. And here's the regulator, and we'll look at that real quick. And this would sit on the firewall on the vintage Saabs or the wheel well on a long nose car. But we've got 3 terminals on the right side here. One is our D plus signal. That's going to be hooked right to the generator here. That's a red wire, normally runs right up here to the D plus to D plus. Then you've got your D minus. The D minus runs right here. That's normally a gray wire. And then we have a black ground wire hooks up here. You can tell that's a ground because it's hooked to the body of the regulator. Then on the left side, we've got a B as in boy, or a battery plus signal. And that's going to be the actual output the regulator is letting go to the battery. So the generator is going to produce power to our D plus based on what the D minus tells it needs. And whatever these two handshake and decide they're going to put out of the generator is going to come to the B plus terminal. It's always a good idea if you're fighting a sticky problem, check your voltage right here on the D plus terminal, because any bad wiring or bad regulator, anything like that, is going to show up at the battery without having charging voltage. Where if you're checking here at the D plus terminal and you've got battery voltage here charging 13, 14 volts, then you know the generator's producing it. Somewhere along the line I'm losing it. And don't be fooled by that. So check your power here, then check it to the battery. Make sure your numbers match on your volt reading. That should get you going on bench testing and a little bit of theory on a generator for your vintage Saab 2-stroke or V4. This is Tom Donnie from Fort Dodge, Iowa, signing off.